Hey, what's up everybody? So in the previous video we have discussed about deployment of NLP model using Docker and the installation of all that Flask, Docker, GitLab, Jenkins, and configuring it to make our requirement satisfy dependencies. So after that video we have discussed about how to write a Flask API to deploy our model, and we have run our Flask API into the browser, and we have successfully find out which tweet is negative or which tweet is positive. Okay, so after that now we want to ship our Flask, so that we will want to deploy it into the Docker image and run to form a Docker container. So for that we want to write some Docker file. Okay, so the first thing is to write a Docker file. So how to write it? So just click just open some text document, and to dockerize, to make an image. So what a Docker generally give? So Docker will give you every type of dependency or environment in which you can just put your code into that the Docker container, and it will just run it. That if the container run, it will function similarly that what you run on your local machine. The only difference is that that particular image you can just give to anyone. Okay, so you can just anyone can run its API which need a dependency of Flask or Pandas and NumPy, and a person don't have to download or install anything on their local system. Simply they need to paste into the that container, and they can run. Okay, so first of all, Docker, we need to make an image, or we need to make an environment. How to make that environment? With the help of Dockerfile. So first we will just write Dockerfile, hit enter, and there is no extension. So Dockerfile doesn't have an extension. Open with any notepad. So my favorite is Notepad++. So you can use anything as an editor of your text. So first of all, we will use a base image. So Dockerfile generally first have a base image. So if you just type Docker Hub, so the Docker Hub, we will find there are so many images or pre-built images already available. So if you just type Ubuntu, so to run your application you need some operating system like environment. Okay, so Docker will give you Ubuntu as an image, as a base image that you can import or write in your Docker file, and in that Ubuntu install all the dependency which you needed to run your code. And after that just copy your all that folder, all the code into that Ubuntu operating system, and when you run that particular image will become container, and that you can access it. Okay, so that particular after that it become a container, it will be very much small in size. Only that space that it needed, that Ubuntu plus all the dependencies plus your file, so that image that we can also see it. Okay, so I'm going to use Alpine. So Alpine is a flavor of Linux. So generally Docker people used to this Alpine image. So why they use? Because it's a very small in size, 5 MB. It will give you only the Linux environment, rest you need to install it. Okay, so it's not a much bulky, so that's why your code become it will run, as well as it will be very small in size. So first just write from, and what we will use, we will just search the because Alpine is so much basic that if you install Pandas and NumPy, so Pandas and NumPy need something called .wheel file and .g++ file. So it will just run that file. So it will take much time if you just directly import Alpine and copy and install Pandas. So it will be much more slower. So we already so some people already have installed some of the latest machine learning libraries on the top of Alpine that we can directly import. Okay, so the one name is Fro VLAD. Okay, so slash, that is spelling is Alpine, and after that Python and machine learning. Here you can see, so this is exactly 180 MB of size. So this one we will write in our Docker file. Okay, so just copy it. Okay, so just copy it and from just paste it. Okay, so which one we will use? The latest one, the tag that we will use. So depending upon which version you want to use, that is written here. So the latest only one of that 63 MB of size, and after decompressing you will get a 180 MB of size. On the top of it we'll run pip install, because it's already have Python installed. Okay, so that is that advantage of having the Docker, because the image, that environment you will already get in this Alpine, on the top of it Python and several machine learning libraries. Which are the libraries that, let's see. So we will get machine learning library like NumPy, Panda, SciPy, Scikit-learn. So far so good. Okay, so upgrade, and we'll just upgrade pip, and after that we will use working directory /app. Okay, so in this, in the inside this container we will make an application folder. In this application folder we will, everything will copy in that application folder. Okay, whatever run in only in that particular working directory. Now after that we will copy everything. So dot means everything will copy inside this app. Okay, after that we will just run pip install -r requirements .txt. Okay, so we need to write some requirement files also. So let's open some text, and here you will write requirements. Okay, so if the spelling is correct, okay, so just open it and just type simply which modules you need to install by pip. Okay, so I will install Flask, that I need. I will need NLTK library. Just close it. So these two things I need. You can just also give some version name also, like for example equal to and 1.1.1 and NLTK library. We generally want to use latest one, so that's why I'm not going to give any type of version here. So if you have some compatibility issue, you can give the version name also. Okay, so after that copying it, after running that pip all the requirements, in the top of it I will run some NLTK module under this library. I will want to install punkt, PUNKT. It will have stop word, and it will give you Porter stemmer and stemming algorithm that you want to vectorize your particular text file. Okay, so for that, how you can install it, you just type python -mnltk.downloader PUNKT. And after that, if you install everything, whenever you run, it will run on some port. If you remember it, then they have to expose it to 4000. And after that, whenever we run the container, so it will run on entry point. Okay, so just search on the internet what is actually entry point. So entry point actually when you run that container, so in the shell here that previously we have run our code, if we just type python, it will open for me Python shell. Okay, so here you can just type anything, pyapp.py, or the name of your app, or anything that it will want to run. Okay, here you can just open the CMD and just try to find, if I type Python, so it will open for me this Python. So in this I will just open my actual py file which I wanted to open. So it will type cmd and after that app.py. okay, so that's it. So in this way you can just write your Docker file. So after that we will, this Docker file, here we have written our Docker file. This Docker file we need to copy it in our virtual environment. Okay, so how I can copy it? So I've already uploaded into my Git repository. So just go github.com/123. so if you just open it, you will just find that there is something called deployment of NLP model. So that particular thing I will copy. So here you can see that I have also given the glossary of NLP with Python for machine learning. So here you can get all that libraries and what it actually name, like lemmatization, root cause, NLP, NLTK, what is actually is all about. So it's also written. Go and clone it, and that's requirement.txt file is there. Flask, NLTK, and the Docker file is available. So just open your virtual environment first. So here we will open our VirtualBox. So just open it, Ubuntu. So we'll wait until that our Ubuntu VirtualBox will get open. Now as you can see, our operating system gets started. So now I will just open the putty, and here I have already saved my session previously. So just open it. Yes, here we go. So just open some desktop or some resources. So just go to some document, like, okay, so document, and here it doesn't have anything. So we will clone our repository here. Just copy paste and just write git clone, and it will clone the repository for you. So there is something contained like deployment of NLP model. Go inside it, and here you have these all files available. Okay, so what we will do, we'll first just check how much like first check sudo super user, and so that we don't have to write every time. So we are there's a root user we will use. So just tag docker image ls. So it will give you these images that I have. So previously I have created the same Docker file and build it. So now I'll give it some different name. So I'll try to first remove it. So for that docker remove and that image id. So here just pass docker remove image id. So after that, okay, so docker image remove. So this is the command, and this actually some containers running that is not allowing us to remove it. So for that we will use container remove that already have been stopped 56ee. So after that image remove, so I had removed it. So just again check that image. So there is nothing called NLP. So now we can build our own image. Okay, so just type docker build. So what Docker build will do, it will build an image for you that will have all the dependency already installed in it. All right, so I will give a tag, so -t, and the name of your NLP model, so just NLP, or just give it a Python and give the tag version 1. Yeah. And after that, where that Docker file is present in the same directory, dot, press enter, and it will go through the Docker file and it will try to install all the dependencies which is it want. So I have already downloaded this image previously, so here I can see this one. Okay, so that's why you don't have to download, it will take it from the cache. Okay, so that process become much more faster. In your case, it will go and directly connect it with the Docker Hub and will download this image, and after that further process will get carried out. And after that, it will copy the app and in that install that requirement, collecting Flask and collecting NLTK. It will install on it. So it will take some time till it install every type of dependencies needed to run Flask and NLTK. Now after that, it will just take some time, and you can just see how much it's the download process is actually the same. So here it found that we need to download some from NLTK.downloader, and in that punct library, punct module, and it has successfully built the image. Okay, now we can just check Docker image ls. So here you have NLP Python that have been created 9 seconds ago of size of 275 MB. All right, so just we have created it, but there is some, if you just run it, for that we have docker run -p, that is the port that we will give. And so the port is outside we will try to access is for 4000, and inside it is expose is 4000. Okay, so outside let we give 5000, so it become much more clear and much more sense to you that outside we can give any type of port available to you, and inside there is 4000, which is actually the port that is exposing from inside the container. Okay, so after that we will run it at some background. So for this it's detach mode, so -d, and after that NLP Python version 1, and you can just also can give the image ID also as in place of this. So we'll just name it as my NLP. Okay, just run it, and it is running at the background. To check, just type docker ps, so something is running. So if you go at your browser and type your that 192.168.43.200 is the IP of my virtual machine, and just type 5000, you'll get that this is something here is running. So just type hello or hi, previously we have just checked, so it will give this positive comment. If we give no something, or just positive negative comment. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so if you just check that the previously what we have code that written, it is executed perfectly, but the one thing that is a minor change that you have to do is app.py. If you just look at the app.py through vi through vim editor, you find out that under the hood, under the name main function, we have provided host is equal to 0.0.0.0, because in the Docker, if you just don't give this, it will try to run the local host that can only accessible inside this container. Okay, it won't be accessible outside of your network. Okay, or inside your local machine where your that local host is running, so that running inside the container, so it can accessible only inside the container. That's why we previously we have run it with the help of 127.0.0.1, that is the IP address of local host that can only run on site the your computer. To run it anywhere else in your connecting network, you have to give this or some given port, okay, some given any other IP address. Okay, so this minor change that you have to do, and after just come out of at Vim and carry out the same process of making an image, and after that running it. So after checking that this is container ID, the container is actually running, and it's if you go to any other place, any other browser connected with your network, you can on 5000 port with the IP address, you can just access your application. Okay, so that's how we can create this particular application with. Now there is one thing that I want to let you know, that if you want to just go inside that your Docker container, you just have to run this command, docker execute, that is run already for running container. Open that interactive shell. For that we have to press -it, I for interactive, T for TTY shell. Okay, so just run the container ID or container name. So it's my container name is my NLP, and after that just type /bin/sh, press enter. Now you are in the container. Yeah, press ls. So here the present working directory is /app. Okay, you can go also the outside, you can press ls. Here you have, now inside you can just see you have app folder. Go to app, and here you have all the files that is that we have copied into that particular app. Okay, so come out. For come out, press Ctrl+D. For that is the command to come out of the container. And you can also check the logs, what is running inside the container. So for that you can just check docker logs, and the my NLP, it will show you these are the logs that have been running, because we have executed some of the commands here, so it will show you some running. We can also just type hey hi there, so it will just predict it's a positive comment. So right now if you can just again check, so here something have been included here, 1 2 3 4 5, now here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so something have been executed right now because we have executed something. So that's how we can check the logs, that's how we can make image, and we can run the container, we can see the container, we can name it, we can run it, we can set the port. So that's how the Docker works. After that we will make a total CI/CD pipeline, that it will fetch the image from the GitLab, it will just build it, it will dockerize the container, and everything we can see on the Jenkins, that we will do in the next video, that is given inside in the link in the description. So everything relatable video, previous video also given in the link in the description. Go and check it out, also that link of this GitHub repository. Thank you so much guys. If you like that video, subscribe and share with your friends who want to learn the CI/CD pipeline and that main tools and technologies which people are using in the industries. If you're a student, go and subscribe my channel. Lots of things that I am uploading afterwards. Thank you so much guys. Bye bye.